Like I said, just about an hour or so ago, I was witness to what happened on the east side here in New York City at the UN headquarters. Prime Minister Modi leading a delegation of over 1,000 people taking part in Yoga Day celebrations. The Guinness Book has acknowledged this as the one yoga event which had the maximum number of nationalities participating in it, over 135 is what we're being told. Joining me now is Minister of State in the Prime Minister's office, Dr. Jitendra Singh. Thank you very much, sir, for speaking with us. First things first, like I said, I was witness to that event that happened about an hour or so ago. 135 countries, over 1,000 people attending that. When you saw those images on television, what did you make of it? What does that moment mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. You are there witnessing it yourself with your naked eyes. I think many would be envying you to be witness to the history in making. 180 countries practicing yoga, led by India, and this is all a miracle happening because of Prime Minister Modi. Yoga has been there for ancient times with us, but it was Prime Minister Modi, soon after he took over in 2014, he put across a proposal before the United Nations, and it was accepted unanimously. That means the yoga was there, India's capacity was there, the world was ready possibly also to accept it, but we didn't have that kind of leadership which could have projected, which could have put it across the world. And therefore, Prime Minister Modi is not only gifted yoga to the rest of the world, he has also provided them or presented them a way of life which would rather unite them. And as he said in his own words in that brief statement that he made just before the session began, he said yoga is universal. Yes, indeed it is universal. But the realization of its being universal was put across by Prime Minister Modi. And that is, I think, a great change we are seeing happening across the world. The entire world, regardless of our affiliations, of our beliefs, of our nationalities, of our races, of our skin color, are getting tied down in a single cord of yoga. And I think this is going to be the new norm of
all right. I also wanted to ask you this,
one nation,
because you're a practicing. I also wanted to ask you this because you're a practicing doctor. There used to be a time when practitioners of modern medicine would not accept alternate forms of medicine, whether it was yoga or homeopathy or Ayurveda. But now increasingly the world is talking about yoga as a means of not just physical well-being, but also emotional and mental well-being. Do you think that bridge has been crossed, that for practitioners of modern medicine like you, yoga is very much helpful in a fit body and a fit mind?
No, absolutely. I'm glad you asked that, Jakar, because it is true that especially in the allopathy science, there was some sort of a cynicism or contempt against the indigenous practices like yoga. Although it has been evidently proved that the specialty that I belong to, diabetes, has evident statistics to prove that there are certain yogasana like Mayurasana, Bhujangasana, Paschimottanasana, Pranayama, which could either reduce the dosage of your anti-diabetic drugs or insulin injections, or could even do away with them. So it could serve as an adjuvant to the management. Also, it could prevent the disease happening. And that again credit goes to Prime Minister Modi. He has introduced in this country for the first time the concept of protective health care, preventive health care, which was not there earlier. Even if one fell sick, they would not bother to get their treatment. Now people are lining up for vaccination, and 220 doses of vaccine administered in this country, which had very, very little aptitude for getting vaccination for the prevention of this disease. So the whole lot of mindset change which has happened as a result of the personal indulgence and motivation led by Prime Minister Modi. And I think yoga is one part of that, as he was also mentioning himself. That's not only about curing of a disease, it's all about wellness. And as he put it in his own words, it gives you mental calm and emotional content. And mental calm and emotional content are also, in one way or the other, related with the psychosomatic effect and the other effects impacting the possibility of a disease happening, particularly lifestyle diseases like diabetes, hypertension, heart attacks, etc. So I think there's a whole lot of scientific thinking behind this. Prime Minister Modi has always had a very strong scientific temper. in every pursuit that he takes up.
All right, Dr. Jitendra Singh, as always, a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much for joining us on this special broadcast of Brass Tacks.